Well, I've ranked my favourite doctors. What about companions? Hello, welcome to Music and Stuff with me, Rob Lewis, and it's Who's Day Tuesday. So this week I'm going to be ranking my top 20 Doctor Who companions. But it'll be a very long video, so I'm going to split it into two halves. So this is part one, where I'm going to be ranking number 20 to 11. Does that make sense? So yeah, these are my second top 10 Doctor Who companions. So here we go. At number 20 we have Leela, and yeah, Leela was a great character. Sometimes when you're picking from the classic era, it's difficult because quite often the characters of the companions weren't given chance to actually develop as characters. They were quite often damsels in distress. But Leela was a little bit different because she started out almost sort of barbaric, but then really came into her own as the series progressed. I know Louise Jameson, when she returned for the awful Dimensions in Time for the 30th anniversary, refused to wear the costume that she wore in the 70s, and understandably so. So number 20 is Leela. And number 19, the OG, Ian Chesterton. Great character. It was kind of setting the standard, I think. Played by William Russell, of course. Setting the standard of what a companion should be. And because William Hartnell was older, obviously Ian Chesterton would take over a lot of the physical acting that needed to be done. Not a lot else to say, but William Russell does, I believe, hold the record for longest gap between playing the same character on TV, which would have been in his final serial, which would have been, oh blimey, is it the War Games? No, not the War Games. It's gone out of my head. I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. I know it, I just can't think of it. I can't remember what it was called. But since then, and then in the Power of the Doctor, the longest gap. Yes, he did play the character in Big Finish dramas, but otherwise, yeah, on TV, in canon, that's the longest gap. Number 18, I know many people would count Jamie McCrimmon as their favourite. He's 18 for me. Played by Fraser Hines, fantastic character, fantastic actor, and one of the longest running companions as well. Sadly, a lot of his episodes are lost. The audio is still intact, but sadly many of his and the Second Doctor's episodes are actually missing. In fact, he did every single Second Doctor story with the exception of his first one, which was Power of the Daleks. So yeah, it was almost always him and Patrick Troughton, and he returned for the two Doctors as well, and the three Doctors, the 5 Doctors, get it right, in 1983, and the two Doctors in 1986. Was he in Dimensions in Time? I'm not sure, because that would have been weird, because Fraser Hines was also in Emmerdale Farm and Emmerdale for a long time, so it would have been weird if he'd gone into Albert Square. What's that? Thanks for watching this video. I really hope you're enjoying it. If you are, maybe you could just help out a small channel by pressing the like button, sharing it to your friends, hit the subscribe button and the alarm notification bell so you can keep up to date with my new videos, and just generally just watching them. It all helps. I'm just a small creator just trying to find my way in this YouTube metropolis. If you really want to help out as well, there's a link to my Patreon in the description and in my About section. So again, thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So, at number 17, a little bit out there, Purpagillion Brown, also known as Perry, played by Nicola Bryant. And you probably can't see, but over here, I will get a picture of it later. Over here, I've actually got a signed photo of Perry by Nicola Bryant, and really nice to when I met her. And I got a little bit, not embarrassed, I blushed when I met her at the 50th anniversary convention in London in 2013. Yeah, not everyone's favourite. She had a bit of a rough time, often bickering with the Sixth Doctor, and maybe, I mean, that American accent as well, maybe brought in a little bit for the dads, but that's alright. Yeah, I just think she's pretty cool, and shame she didn't really get a decent send-off, but yeah. And also Nicola Bryant was the niece in Blackadder's Christmas Carol. Very different character. Yeah, so that's number 17, Perry. At number 16, some might argue that they weren't a fully fledged companion, but I think we can make an exception when it comes to the late Sir Bernard Cribbins as Wilfred Mott. He'd appeared in a few different episodes, and most notably The End of Time. Now, say what you want about The End of Time, its plot was a bit silly in places and everything, but there were scenes with Wilfred Mott and the 10th Doctor that were really, really moving, and everyone loves Wilf. I defy anyone to come into the comments now and tell me you didn't like the character of Wilf and why. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And of course returned again in Wild Blue Yonder. It was Bernard Cribbins' final ever TV appearance before he died shortly afterwards. And of course Bernard Cribbins was in the 60s Doctor Who movie, Daleks Invasion Earth 2050 AD, whatever it was called. Yeah, it's not canon, but he was in that. Number 15, Ruby Sunday. Yeah, I think she was underused, and I think could have, with a bit of time and care, could have maybe been one of the greatest companions. It's a shame she didn't even get a proper send-off, but maybe she's not done yet. You know, who says we've seen the last of Ruby Sunday, but we didn't really see much of her saying goodbye at the end of the Reality War. But yeah, Millie Gibson as Ruby Sunday, I think could have been, with a bit of time, could have really been good. Yeah. I'm just going to deal with this fly. Still couldn't get him. Still knocking about here. So, we're coming to number 14. When it was announced that Jodie Whittaker was going to be the 13th Doctor, I had my doubts. I was one of those guys, oh, it's a Time Lord, not a Time Lady, blah, blah, blah. I've since apologised and moved on from those comments. But the thing that frightened me most about that era was the idea of having Bradley Walsh as a companion. That truly terrified me. What him from The Chase and Coronation Street? So, in fact, I watched The Woman That Fell to Earth when it was aired, and I didn't watch any new Doctor Who for 3 or 4 years, and then went back and revisited Jodie Whittaker's era because I hadn't seen it the first time around, mainly because I was scared, you know what I mean, anxious about what it had become. And the thing that surprised me most was how much I actually liked the character of Graham O'Brien, played by Bradley Walsh. I was really, really surprised. I know not everyone feels the same. This is my list. It's very subjective. And yes, you could argue that he could have done more with the character, but he was just a nice guy and grounded as well. And I like that side. I think he kept the Doctor grounded. He was quite a real character. He wasn't overplayed, underplayed if anything. Graham O'Brien, yeah, number 14. Number 13, played by Lalla Ward, who's actually Richard Dawkins' wife. The second Romana, or Romana Dvora Trelunda. Romana Dvora Trelunda? Romana Dvora Trelunda. I don't know, I can't remember exactly how to pronounce it, but who was the Fourth Doctor's companion for a while, and Tom Baker, in fact, married Lalla Ward shortly after, and the marriage ended quite quickly, I believe. But yeah, it's different. Yes, great character, very, very clever, and had another one of these where she had just been seen in a previous story. But that's a video for another day. Bloody fly. Yeah. Kind of really... Well, she was more intelligent than the Doctor. I think that's the other thing. She knew things the Doctor didn't, which played well. And so my 13th favourite is the second Romana. My 12th favourite would be the first Romana, played by Mary Tamm, for much the same reason. Stood up to the Fourth Doctor, and yeah, very glamorous as well, I think, the first Romana, which was sort of a bit of a contrast from his previous companion Leela. Not much else to say. Sadly, we lost Mary Tamm a few years ago. But yeah, and now we get to my 11th favourite, another one from the classic series, Jo Grant, played by Katie Manning. Just a good, solid companion, really. Wasn't really the damsel in distress, and there was a bit of characterisation to her, and was not killed off, but married off. That was how she left the show. The character of Jo Grant was married off in The Green Death. But we do see her again. I know she's in Tales from the TARDIS, but she appeared in the Sarah Jane Adventures. So that was quite nice, having a little catch up with her. Well, we've come to the end of part 1. Let me know what you think about my choices in the comments, and let me know who you think is going to be in part 2. So in part 2 we're going to have my complete top 10 of Doctor Who companions to date. Obviously there might be someone coming along that's my favourite, but this is to date in June 2025. Yeah, so that should be out soon. Keep watching. Don't forget, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, do all that other crap you got to do nowadays. and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Catch you later, Bill and Ted. And what it is I need is like a 20-second clip that I can put at the end of each video. You know how other YouTubers do it, whether I have at the end of a video like 4 things on the screen, it's, you know, like and subscribe, that kind of stuff. I just need something like that, but I don't know what to put.